Morning, happy Sunday. I think this is going to be a Sunday upload. Welcome back to another vlog. This is going to be more of a fitnessy weekly vlog this week because I need accountability. I'm doing this for you guys because I know a lot of you also struggle with this time of year and locking in and not like keeping on top of things and keeping up with the gym and motivation and all that good stuff, but I really struggle with it as well. So I'm kind of doing this to keep me accountable this week. Today I have just got back from the gym. I did film my workout and I'm going to put it in, but I went and hit legs. I did a little bit more than I usually would just because I'm probably only going to train legs twice this week, so I've bumped my training volume up in each of the sessions up a little bit. I've been recently introduced to the term winter arc. Now yesterday I was at breaking point and I was like, guys, please, for the love of baby Jesus, can someone tell me what a winter arc is? Like, I feel so old. I'm not down with the kids anymore, guys. I was like, why is everyone posting about a winter arc and what is it? And apparently people have informed me it's basically just like locking in for winter, doing a bulk or a cut, being really focused in on your fitness goals, which obviously isn't a bad thing. However, it did get me thinking. This is the first winter where, last winter I didn't bulk, I just gained weight because it was a very stressful time. I wasn't training properly, I wasn't eating right, I wasn't looking after myself, I kept getting sick. It was just a whole mess and I gained weight, which obviously isn't the end of the world, but I wasn't very happy with how I looked and how I felt in myself. Not even just because I'd gained weight, just because of all the reasons I've just listed. This is the first year going into winter where I'm intentionally being like, I am not bulking this winter. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with bulking. I'm not saying you shouldn't bulk. In fact, if you are going to bulk, yes, winter is a very good time to do it. You know, baggy clothes, all that sort of stuff. It's a more comfortable time to do a growth phase. I'm all on board for the people who want to do it, but I'm like years into my fitness journey now, and this is the first year where I'm going into winter being like, do you know what? I'm not bulking for 6 months. I'm not bulking. I'm just not bulking. I want to stay consistent. My winter arc is I don't want to get sick. I want to stay consistent. I want to look after myself. I want to make sure I'm getting fresh air, going on walks, hitting training sessions, fueling my body properly, looking after my body, not just because I feel like when I bulk, I'm very like hyper focused on macros and not necessarily micros. Micronutrients are going to be huge for me this winter because I just want to make sure that I'm looking after myself from the inside out. And for once, yeah, my winter arc is not bulking. I'm not bulking this year. I've spoken about it before, but I just like was so tired of being in bulk and cut cycles, and since I stopped putting so much pressure on myself to do that, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable in myself, in my body, but also I'm enjoying my fitness much more again, and I'm able to stick to it, and I'm adhering to it a lot better than I was this time last year, for example, or any time prior when I've been putting too much pressure on myself. So I'm feeling really positive going into winter. I'm just a little bit apprehensive because I know that this time of year I struggle to stay on top of things and I struggle to keep up with things. So as much as I didn't get the whole winter arc thing, I think I'm on board with it, but in my own way. If anyone else has a winter arc goals that they're focusing on at this time of year, please let me know. Do I just sound like an absolute wanker? I don't know. I am going to focus on being consistent, and that's what this vlog's going to be. We're going to do a little bit of a fitnessy vlog. I'm going to give you some tips and some things that I'm going to be doing to help myself through the winter period when it comes to life in general, but also my fitness as well, and my wellness and my health. And also, let's just spend a bit of time together, do you know what I mean? A little bit of a weekly vlog sort of thing. So yeah, I hit legs this morning, and I've just got back home, so I'm about to make lunch, so I will pop my leg day clips in here. But yeah, welcome to another vlog, and hopefully it's going to be helpful for anyone else who struggles at this time of year, and like maybe you're seeing the whole like locking in over winter and it's stressing you out a bit and you feel like it's too much pressure. Maybe this vlog can help alleviate a little bit of that pressure for you. I don't know, hopefully it will be helpful. But yeah, welcome. So this is very much an all over leg day, a little bit of quads, a little bit of glutes, a little bit of hamstrings. So I'm starting off with RDLs. Last year, when it comes to my training and things that I've learned from it and what I'm learning this year in terms of making sure that I do have a good winter and I do stay consistent, is I have to go to the gym on the days where I can't be asked, because yes, you should listen to your body, and if I'm ill, I'm not going to go. Sidebar, if you have the flu, please do not go to the gym. That is so incredibly selfish. End sidebar. What I'm saying is, on the days where I can't be arsed and I just know I'm being lazy, I'm not giving myself the grace of being like, well, you don't have to go to the gym. No, I do, because otherwise it just ends up in a vicious cycle of like, I feel like rubbish and I can't be asked to go, I'm being lazy, so I don't go to the gym. Then I feel bad because I've not gone to the gym, because I feel worse, because the gym is one of the things, and moving my body is one of the things that helps me stay mentally sane through the colder months, and also moving my body just makes me feel better. Why wouldn't I want to be doing those things in a time where generally I tend to struggle a little bit more mentally? So I don't want to say I will be ignoring my body, but knowing the difference between when you need to rest and when you're just being a little bit lazy, a little bit CBA, is very important. And I've been training for a while now, so I do generally, not always, but generally I can tell the difference between the two. And I also just feel like my lack of movement and stuff this time last year just made everything so much worse. And I also feel like, not that not training was making me sick, but because it was just another thing that I was neglecting and not looking after myself properly, I do genuinely think it did contribute towards how often I got sick and how sick I was getting last year. Because I feel like if you were watching my vlogs last year, I feel like I was non-stop complaining about being sick, having weeks off at a time, or like skipping like 3-4 sessions a week. I just could not maintain good health last year. So that's something that I am really, really focusing on this year, in terms of making sure that I am able to, yes, stay consistent over winter, but also just look after myself properly, because sometimes looking after yourself isn't sitting in bed and not doing much for the day. Sometimes it will be, but sometimes looking after yourself will actually be going and doing something that you don't want to do, because first of all, it's good for you, and second of all, you're going to feel better afterwards. Not saying that happens after every single session that you can't be asked to go and do, but a lot of the time it does. So yeah, here I'm just doing some single leg press. By the way, if you're looking at this and thinking, why have you got no weight on it? Please come to my gym and try this leg press. It is the world's heaviest leg press. It's actually crazy. The most I've ever put on for a single leg press on this is 5 on each side. Like, it's insanely heavy. And then I finished off my workout with some quads and a little bit of hamstrings, and I didn't even have to change machines for this, because you can basically alter this to be a hamstring curl or a leg extension. So here I'm just doing my leg extensions. You guys know the drill by now. Not flinging the weight up, actually like squeezing your quads, contracting your quads to get the weight up, rather than flinging it up and not using your quads properly, using more momentum, force, swinging, all that jazz. And then it felt really difficult. But I felt like I had a few more reps in me, so I did just take a little bit of a breather and then finish my set. I still only got like 2.5 more reps out, but I felt like I had more in me. I was just getting a little bit of like lactic acid build up in my quads. So then I flipped it, as you can see, and then I switched it, so I'm doing hamstring curls. I like doing seated and lying. Like, I'm not opposed to either, but I would say I feel like I do prefer seated slightly. I just feel like I get a little bit of a better connection with seated hamstring curls, but I do like both, and I do both. I hate it when I say do, but I do both of them. But yeah, that was just an overall leg day, and I made it up on the spot. So if you try it out, enjoy. It was a good one. A lot of people said that they want to see more food and stuff in vlogs, but also with this being about focusing and being consistent and stuff, I want to make sure I'm getting a healthy, balanced diet. So I'm having a post-workout, I'm saying post-workout meal, it's not really, it's just my lunch. That's what it is. And I'm having it post-workout. So I'm going to have some salmon, some tender stem broccoli, and some rice. It's very quick, it's very simple. I have client check-ins to do. This is probably going to take me like 8 minutes to cook, and that's purely because of the salmon. I'm going to quickly pan fry the tender stem broccoli. I'm going to use half a bag of this, and I'm going to put some of my dad's like special salt seasoning. It's the best thing ever on the salmon with a little bit of lemon, and that's it. That's going to be my lunch. It's super quick, easy. I'm not thinking, oh, like I can't be asked to cook. No, we're cooking and we're getting micronutrients, healthy fats, carbs, nice balanced meal. Is it interesting? No. Is it groundbreaking? No. But it works. Just finished my lunch, but I want to show you how I'm making a dupe at home of Mel's Maple Matcha from Blank Street. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know how obsessed I was with it. I think I mentioned it in a vlog as well. I know they use Perfect Head Matcha. I know they use Khalifa Farms oat milk. And I know they use 30ml of Canadian maple syrup and then cinnamon. I just don't know how much cinnamon they use. Eyeball it and switch it up every single time. But I'm going to make an at-home iced Mel's Maple Matcha dupe, and I'm going to show you how I do it. If you like matcha and you like cinnamon buns and you're wanting, again, winter arc, you're wanting like an autumnal iced drink that's not a pumpkin spice latte, I think this is so good. It tastes like a cinnamon bun and it's not too sweet and it's not too creamy. So I'm going to show you how I do it. This is the matcha that I use. If you're looking at matcha, you want to get a ceremonial grade one and go off the colour. It should be a bright green. You know, sometimes when you get a matcha and it looks like pond water, it shouldn't look like that. You want it like bright and vibrant. So mine is the Thankyou one, but you can find cheaper ceremonial grade matcha. This is just the one I've got at the moment and I get it from Selfridges. I'm going to use my favourite glass as always. I'm putting ice in first. Then you're going to want to put in Canadian maple syrup. Mine's from Marks and Spencer's, but I'm assuming most Canadian maple syrup should be the exact same thing. And I put in 30ml of this. Hello, Deborah.
Hello.
I'm eyeballing this, but that's just because I know what 30ml looks like. I think that's about 30ml. That might be wrong. Would you say that's 30 millilitres?
Yeah.
Yeah, about. This is the oat milk I'm using. Blank Street use the one in the blue carton. It's the Khalifa Farms one, but I prefer this one. I'm going to use the straw that I'm going to be using for the thing to stir that all together so that the syrup and milk goes together. I will say if you do the milk and syrup without icing, it does mix easier, so maybe do that. So now we've got our mapleized oat milk. Cinnamon is next. Again, this is from Marks and Spencer's. Doesn't need to be Marks and Spencer's. And I just eyeball it. If you want it more cinnamony, put more in. If you don't want it too cinnamony, then you can put less in. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but that's how much I've put in, and I'm going to try and mix that in. Obviously, it's very hard to mix the powder in with the water. We've got cinnamon maple milk, and obviously the final thing is the matcha itself. So I've just done like a tiny little baby spoon of matcha with warm water. You don't want it hot. If it's hot, it'll burn the matcha and then it tastes really bitter. If you've ever had a bitter tasting matcha, it could just be that it's shit matcha. It could also be that they've used too hot water. Put it in. Like, can you see how bright green that is? It's like fluorescent matcha. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more milk just because it's obviously not near the top and I want it to be a nice full-ish glass. This is how I make my Mel's Maple Matcha dupe at home, and if you haven't tried it and you don't have Blank Street near you, it tastes like a cinnamon bun, basically, is what it tastes like. It's not too sweet, but it's not too cinnamony, but obviously you can put more cinnamon in if you want it more cinnamonish, and you can put less in if you want it less cinnamonish. So yeah, I'm gonna drink this. I've got client check-ins to do today, so I'm gonna do those now with my matcha and see you when I see you. But it's nice to have an iced autumnal drink that I can look forward to during this winter arc that's not a pumpkin spice latte. And I feel like sometimes flavours don't always go with matcha. If you have a Black Sheep near you, the apple crumble matcha is really good. Black Sheep, apple crumble matcha, or Blank Street, Mel made me do it, matcha would be my two matchas of choice for the winter. But yeah. So Wednesday morning I got up and I went and did some sprints at the gym. Now cardio is something that I feel like people just write off as like just a tool to get leaner in the summer, and they might let it slip over winter. Obviously I'm not saying that every single person does that, but I've definitely done it before and I know many people that have. But sticking with my cardio is something I am so determined to do. First of all, I want to get faster and faster. I'm up to 18 now on the treadmill, which is crazy because I used to be so scared of running on a treadmill. I want to get better at it. It's something that I really enjoy progressing with and getting faster and feeling like I'm becoming more cardiovascularly healthy and fit week on week. But also I do just find that those endorphins when I've done cardio, it just hits different to weights. Don't get me wrong, I feel great after both, but this makes me feel so good. So why would I not want to continue with that into the winter? And I'm not saying everyone writes off cardio through the winter. Of course they don't. There's plenty of people that just do cardio year round, but it is something that I have like written off through the winter before and not focused on. So I'm not going to be doing that this year because I've noticed, especially over the past few months doing this more, it just makes me feel amazing. And again, why would I not want to be doing the things that make me feel good during a season where generally I tend to struggle a bit more mentally naturally? So yeah, did my sprints on Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday today. I think the last thing I filmed was, obviously I filmed my sprints this morning. I went to the gym and did some cardio, which obviously I'll have spoken to a little bit about cardio, and sort of, I feel like a lot of people do see it as just a summer thing, but that's one of the things I'm going to be keeping up with to keep me feeling as good as I felt through summer as much as possible, like as much as humanly possible. I want to keep these good vibes going. So yes, it's Wednesday today. I'm just back from the gym and I'm about to go and make some lunch. Following on from yesterday's conversation about like micronutrients and all that good stuff, my salad for my lunch, I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm saying I'm going to show you how I do it. It's really not difficult or like hard or like anything groundbreaking. I just put like a lot of different things in it. I'm going to do kale, mixed leaves, olives, tzatziki, red pepper hummus, chicken, a pomegranate dressing, and just get like plenty of micronutrients in, because like I said, I feel like in the fitness world in general, a lot of people focus very heavily on macronutrients, which is fine, but there's not always much of a focus on micronutrients. And I feel like especially in winter, or if you are someone who's going into winter and you're wanting to do a bulk, I feel like micronutrients very often get like left out of that. There's a lot of the like cozy foods that we eat don't always have the most micronutrients in, if that makes sense. So it can sort of like slip under the radar, and then it can make everything else, like getting sick and stuff, so much worse because you just don't have the micronutrients that you need in your body. So I'm about to make a banging salad for my post-workout meal, and with that I'm going to take some vitamin D. Now I bought this from Holland & Barrett a couple of weeks ago, and this was the one that they recommended to me when I explained that I just really struggle at this time of year and I feel like I should be taking some vitamin D. This is not medical advice. Please like ask your doctor, ask someone who knows what they're talking about, but I've been suggested to take vitamin D so many times and I've never actually done it. So this year is my first year trying vitamin D, and that's something that I am going to be supplementing with. Usually I want to get everything that I can through my food, and I do try to do that. I don't take multivitamins, I don't do any of that at the moment. This and creatine are the only supplements that I take like every single day, but I'm going to keep you posted on it. But yeah, I'm not saying you guys should take vitamin D as well. It's just something that's always been quite highly recommended to me, is taking a vitamin D tablet. So yeah, these are the ones that I got. Like I said, they're from Holland & Barrett, and I do feel like the guy has given me a good recommendation because these were not the most expensive ones. They had vitamin D in there for like £60-70. These were like £12 I think, and there's 96 tablets in there. So yeah, the only thing with vitamin D is I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're meant to take it with food, in particular fats. But yeah, I am going to do a little bit more research on vitamin D just because it comes up every single winter and people are always saying you should try it, you should try supplementing with it whenever I mention that I struggle at this time of year. So yeah, basically a double whammy of something else that I am really trying to focus on to keep myself feeling tip-top condition mentally, physically, is my micronutrients, my vitamins, my minerals, and obviously being in the UK, it's very grey. The weather is not good, like it's not been good at all this week, so I've not spent a ton of time outdoors, so I'm just trying to offset that slightly. So yeah, just back from the gym, session was good. I went up to 18 on the treadmill today, which is crazy because guys, I used to be so scared of getting on a fucking treadmill. That used to terrify me. I feel like I've been really getting more comfortable and getting more to grips with using a treadmill, so I'm very happy with my progress that's coming along with my sprints, and I'm still loving doing them. And yeah, I'm going to keep up with those. So let's go and make my salad. I'll probably time lapse here because it's not anything groundbreaking where I need to break it down for you step by step. So I'm probably going to time lapse it, but yeah, let's go and make some lunch together. This is one of my favourite salads at the moment. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. And if you were curious, the chicken is pre-seasoned shawarma seasoning from Marks and Spencer's. That's the seasoning that's on the chicken, but I will show you everything else that goes into my big old salad bowl. I'm starving. Let's go make some food. Hello, it's been a few hours. I've just been doing some work. Don't mind my room. I'm in the midst of tidying it up. I've just been doing some work and my Alphalete package came, so I've just been filming a TikTok unboxing, but I've only got like 7 pieces, so I think I'm gonna wait and see. Hopefully the other pieces are gonna come whilst I'm filming this and I can do like a little, I'll show you the new pieces, but if they don't, I'll show you those anyway, but I'll give it a couple more days so that it's all in one spot in the vlog and you're not having to flick back and forth. But yeah, I've got one of the new hoodies on. I've just been doing that. My package came, I made some lunch, I was replying to clients, clearing through my Instagram DMs, which is becoming, I don't want to say quite the task, but I'm getting a lot more DMs at the moment and I fucking love it. Like, I love how much I'm chin wagging with the girlies, but I feel like it's because I'm sharing, and you'll have even noticed it in my vlogs probably, I'm sharing a lot more variety in terms of the content I'm putting out. Like, I'm not just sharing gym content, and I feel like clearly people were getting tired of just seeing like gym stuff and like gym recommendations and fitness stuff and gym selfies, because I'm getting a lot more people like wanting to like ask questions and talk to me about things that are nothing to do with the gym. Beauty, health, hair, TV shows, films, like the most random shit, but I love it. Like clothes, I absolutely love it, and I'm loving chin wagging with people more. But with that being said, the like volume of DMs I'm getting has definitely gone up, and I always want to make sure I'm staying on top of it, because sorry, I just think it's the rudest thing in the world that you would ever expect people to support you yet you ignore their messages. That's insane to me. Like, that's crazy talk. So that's something I never want to let slip, and I'm very lucky that I have a small community, so it's easier to stay on top of, but never ever ever want to let that slip, because I just think that's really important to me. So that's what I've been doing, clearing through my DMs and talking to my clients. However, obviously the theme of this, well, it's not really a theme, but I wanted to make sure that in this vlog I'm giving you guys some of my tips and some of the things that I'm going to be doing. So waking up is so difficult in winter. It's difficult because it's cold. It's difficult because it's miserable outside. It's difficult because it's grey. It's difficult because it's dark. That is one of the things I struggle with the most. And if you've been watching my vlogs recently through the summer, I think I've mentioned I was waking up at like 6:32 AM every single day, and that wasn't even when the sun rose, without an alarm clock. And I thought I could just carry on going with that because my bedtime remains pretty similar every night. So I thought I could just carry on with that through to winter. So I've not been setting an alarm so far this week, and every single morning I've woke up late because I've not been setting an alarm, and it's just my body clearly doesn't want to get up early naturally during the winter, so I'm wheeling this thing back out. Now, you can get much more expensive versions of this. Hatches do look cool, I'm not gonna lie, but I looked it up on Amazon yesterday and it was like 240 quid. I thought, do you know what, I think for now, unless it goes on an Amazon Prime deal, I think I'll be sticking with my Philips, which I've had for years. I've had this since I was at uni. I might have even shown it in a vlog before years ago, but I've not used this for a very long time because obviously I didn't live at home for a bit, and that was just a whole thing in itself, and I've not used it in years. We won't get into it. I've not used it in years. But now, starting tomorrow, because I have a hair appointment tomorrow at 9 AM, so I need to be up early because I've got to get to Leeds and I want to make sure I'm not like rushing out the door. I'm going to start using this from tomorrow. This is a sunrise alarm clock, if it wasn't already obvious. I feel like they all look kind of similar. This is the Philips one. I'm not sure if they still sell this anymore, but if they do, I'll link it below because it wasn't anywhere near as expensive as some of them now. Like, some of them now are so expensive. Essentially, you set the alarm time for whatever time you want to wake up. So let's say you want to wake up at 6 AM, and this alarm clock will slowly, it doesn't just flash on, it slowly mimics a sunrise in your room. So it goes from like dark and it slowly gets brighter and brighter, and you can put sound on it if you want to have a sound on it for 6 a.m. when you wake up, or you can have it without sound as well, which I really like, because if I just use the light I don't need the sound, and sometimes I find the sound really like on a morning, like the sound of an alarm. Let's be honest guys, it's not pleasant. My body's natural alarm clock, my circadian rhythm, is clearly not adapting to darker mornings well, so we're cracking this out. But obviously it's not super dark in here right now, so I don't know if you're going to see like the full effect, but this is how bright it can get. Are we ready? That's how it works. How stunning is that? How stunning is that? Beautiful. I feel like it's giving me a really bloody lovely glow, do you know what I mean? Honestly, one of the most, I'm not even going to say underrated, because a lot of people have their own version of this now, but it's just one of the best like little tips and tricks for those colder months. And then I feel like as it's going off, you can see how big of an impact that had. This is one of my hacks, and I'm going to start using it tomorrow, and I'll still be vlogging tomorrow, so I'll give you an update tomorrow on how this goes. But yeah, if you are someone that struggles, obviously you've got sad lamps and stuff like that that you can use for like seasonal depression, but I feel like that's a whole different thing. This is for if you struggle to get up on a morning when you don't have that natural sunrise, but you don't like the whole like just grind it out, set the alarm, and you want a bit more of a nice wake up. Highly recommend getting your paws on like a sunrise alarm. If you Google them, if you Amazon them, there's loads of them nowadays, so they'll all come up. But yeah, this is an old Philips one, but it still works, and she's getting put back in action from tomorrow, so I will keep you posted on how this goes. But yeah, I've got a crap ton of work to do for coaching. I've got quite a few more messages and emails to get back to, so I'm gonna do that whilst I'm watching a bit of Love is Blind US, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, because I'm going to my sister's house this evening with my friends for just like a bit of a catch up, so I will see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, Philips sunrise alarm clock is the one that I have. I'll link it below if I can find it. Highly recommend. Highly. Morning guys, I think the last clips you will have seen was me waking up to my alarm clock. So an update on the alarm clock, it works, and I don't even need to put a sound on it. I thought I had put the sound on, I actually hadn't, so it's been working even without sound, which I know that wouldn't work for everyone, but for me it has actually been working, and it has been waking me up, so that's excellent. And then I went to go get my hair done, so this is my hair, and I suppose that's sort of another thing, is just like, it sounds really superficial, but doing things to stay on top of like beauty. For example, like I fake tanned last night, which is why I look a little bit crazy, because it's feel like it needs another rinsing. Doing things to stay on top of like beauty stuff, like my nails really need doing, but I'm getting them done next week. Got my hair done, and just doing things to make me feel good about myself. And I know that's going to sound a bit superficial, but I do just feel better when I know my hair's done. And we did it really, it doesn't look as good today, so I'm going to put a video in here so you can see how good it looked yesterday. But Jason just knows what I want when it comes to my hair. And if you are brunette but you feel like your hair looks very meh, I cannot recommend enough dabbling in some warmer tones. It'll depend on the person. For some people neutral's better, cooler's better, but for me, when I was blonde, warm tone was like blasphemy. It was like the worst thing in the world. Like, what the fuck do you mean warm tone? Whereas now I love rich warm brown tones in my hair. So we've not gone super warm, it's like a neutral warm, but I don't know if you can tell, I just feel like it really, it looks healthier, it looks richer. It's obviously super shiny because I've just had it done. So yeah, we basically do a, if anyone is curious what I ask for, we do a neutral, warm, rich brown on my root, just because my roots were coming through a little bit lighter. So we do that on my root. We pull it through a little bit, but not through like my entire head of hair. I don't dye my full head of hair. And then we just whack a toner on the rest of it, like a nice warm chocolate brown toner on the rest of it. So the dimension that you see in my hair is just just because I've obviously had highlights earlier this year, so I will have this dimension in my hair because I had lighter bits. Like the underneath is a lot darker than the top, and I love having dimension in my hair. Like, as much as I didn't like the highlights at the time, I love the after effect of how it sort of looks. And obviously this will lighten. I've got my hair booked in for December. I've got my nails booked in for the next 3 months until the end of the year, because obviously beauty appointments get so busy this time of year, guys, like so busy. So I've booked all those in. But that's another thing that I'm like I said, just keeping on top of that sort of stuff, doing things that make me feel good. Fake tan makes me feel good, having my hair done makes me feel good, getting my nails done makes me feel good, going to the gym makes me feel good, waking up at like a good time and making sure I get enough time in my day and enough out of my day makes me feel good. Like the past 2 days, because I've been getting up at 6 again, I feel so much better. I feel like by the time it gets to 8 a.m, I feel like I've already done so much, because a lot of what I do, I can just do it from my laptop and I can just literally not start as soon as my eyes are open, but because obviously that's not healthy, but I feel like I just get a lot more out of my day. And with it being darker mornings and colder mornings, that gets so much harder. So that alarm clock is going to be a lifesaver. Although now that I'm like in with the alarm clock, I kind of want one that looks a bit nicer, but we're just going to roll with that one for now, because I feel like a lot of the tips around this time of year and seasonal saddies and like staying on top of things, it all requires money or like spending, and it's sort of like putting a plaster over a broken bone with like consumption. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing like some autumnal shopping. Like, I think in this vlog I actually am going to go into town after I've been to the gym and maybe get some autumnal pieces and just have a little bit of a solo date. But you know, it's not all about money. Like, decorating with pumpkins and all this other stuff isn't going to make you feel better if you're not really looking after yourself, if you're not getting those micronutrients in your body, if you're not looking after yourself in terms of fresh air, making sure you're getting a good amount of sunlight, making sure if you need to be taking any vitamins or supplements that you are, making sure that you're moving your body. Like, it all works as one. It's not just about like, oh, if you decorate your room you'll feel 10 times better, because you might, but then the goalpost. Oh my god, there's a fucking bird on my, that was so, guys, I thought there was a person on my bonnet then. What the fuck? Guys, there's a bird. Oh, it's just flown off, I can't show you, but that was actually quite scary. So yeah, I'm about to go to the gym, moving my body, another thing which I've obviously already spoken about. I'm going to go and train legs. If it's quiet, I'll film. If it's not, I won't. But I've got some new Alphalete pieces on today. So this is the new baby tee in the colour Brawl. It's so nice. I was saying to the girls in my Discord yesterday, I don't know if it's a bit too warm for me, but I actually like this colour. It's just quite hard to pair with other browns. So I'm going to see what I can do for like a lookbook for it. And I've got the zip up on again. I really like it. It feels like a nice level of warmth without being too thick for the gym, obviously. Like, I love my worst behaviour hoodies, but I couldn't train in them, for example. I could probably keep this on for a training session. It's not that warm. We're going to go and hit legs, and then I think I'm going to take myself on a little solo date, because again, that's something that I want to be keeping on top of in these winter months. So yeah, happy Friday. Welcome to another day of the vlog. I look crazy. Also, does anyone else's hairdresser always dye their forehead? I tried to get it off yesterday, but it's got me good, and I feel like it looks worse because of my fake tan. I feel like the fake tan is stuck around the edge as well, so that's absolutely stunning and wonderful, and we love that. I will see you guys either at the gym or after the gym. It's so grey outside, but I'm back from the gym and I'm back from doing my solo date. And this is also a reminder, you don't need to go and spend loads of money. I did go and smell a load of candles, and I did find a really nice candle in, I always get Anthropology and Ando's Stories mixed up. It was Anthropology. It was vanilla and dark plum. Very nice smelling candle if you're in the market for like a sweet fall candle. It's not too like Christmassy, and it's also not too vanilla-y. It's a very nice scent, and one that I've not smelled before. But I was thinking to myself, consumption, let's not be silly. I've got 2 candles at the moment that are like fall related that I need to burn through first, so I'm going to use those up, because nothing will stress you out more in these darker months than finances if you're just pissing money up the wall. So I'm trying not to do that. However, did do a little bit of an M&S haul because I found something in Marks and Spencer's that I've actually been looking for a while. It is the majority of this bag, and then I also got some other bits to go with my lunch. So for my lunch, how nice does this look? This looks so good. I mean, it was ridiculous. I feel like this was £5. I'm not gonna lie, it was ridiculously priced, but it's cucumber, edamame, apple, sugar snap with a fruity ginger dressing. So I'm gonna have that, not the whole thing, probably half, because that's quite a lot. I don't know if I'll be hungry enough for that. With 2 like smashed burger flatbreads, which I'm gonna show you how to make. Flatbreads for my smashed burger things. These, I am a marketing department's wet dream. Like, these were like £3. They're called Toxic Toads. Should we try one? I'm assuming this is a strawberry one, but I don't really understand why, because I feel like it should be pink, but oh, that tastes like Coca-Cola. But the brown one also tastes like Coca-Cola. It's not like a Haribo chewy where you kind of have to chew it to break it down. It's like your teeth will like sink through it chewy. Which isn't my favourite chewy, so I actually probably wouldn't recommend these. They taste nice, but I probably actually wouldn't recommend those. That's quite disappointing. Sliced gherkins, again, for my smashed burger things that I'm gonna make. I found this. It looks like a towel, but it's not. It's actually a dressing gown because all mine are quite like fluffy, but I love when I stay in a hotel and you know when they have not the waffle ones, because I love the look of them, but they're way too thin, like they're not cozy at all. But you know when they have like the towel material ones, I found one in Marks and Spencer's and it's so thick. And I feel like usually stuff like this is like 80 quid, 100 quid, and it was £45, so in other words, I've got a new dressing gown. I bought this, so I'm gonna make my lunch and I'll show you how I do it because it's one of my favourite meals at the moment. And again, making sure I'm getting plenty of micronutrients in and high protein. That's very much what I'm trying to do at the moment. A lot of micronutrients and high protein with a good fats and carbs split. If you watched my vlog the other week, you'll recognise the 24 mini meatballs, which I'm now obsessed with. So basically what I do is I get 6. So I'm going to do 12 because I'm going to make 2 flatbreads. I've just washed my hands, by the way. I'm not being a dirty little grabber. I get them in my hand like this and I go like this to make like a smashed burger. They're super thin and they fry within like, honestly, like 2 minutes. And I basically just mould 6 mini meatballs into a burger. And I've literally just done that in real time, so you'll be able to see how long that's just taken me. But we have a smashed piece of meat. High five. That's disgusting. That stinks as well. I hate the smell of red meat. Like, I hate the smell of red meat, and I also hate the smell of red meat cooking. It stinks. And just like that, the burgers are created. Let's fry them. I've finished my lunch. I wanted to actually just show you my dressing gown on. I thought, why don't we just try it all on? And I'm going to show you some of the new Alphalete pieces. The Tenacity pieces haven't come in. I'll link the launch brief below so you can see what's coming, but you will have a review next week. I still don't have my Tenacity pieces, so I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek at the pieces that I do have. Definitely not my personal favourite launch. I know that for a lot of people it's like their favourite launch like ever or like in 2 years. For me personally, based off what I've got so far, it's not, but I am excited for the Tenacity leggings and the baby tees. That's what I'm like really banking on, because I love wearing my Aura leggings, but if you've got Aura, you'll know it's very low compression. Tenacity's a bit tighter woven, but still that nice buttery feel. So I'm hoping they can be an errand legging that can also be like a gym hybrid legging, but that can also be just a good errand legging for when I want something that just feels a bit tighter on my leg. And they've got a hidden scrunch, but I've not like properly, I've seen it very briefly in person, but I've not properly tried it out. So yeah, but none of those pieces have come yet, so that review will be up next week. But this is my dressing gown. I'm glad I went with a large because I feel like a big teddy bear in it, and I feel like it's really long as well. Oh, it is really long. Oh, it's very big and very oversized. I feel like you can't see me, but it's a very big dressing gown. I'm glad I did a large and not a small, because I feel like the small wouldn't have been cozy enough, but it's big. But oh my god, it's so nice. It's like a thick towel material and it's like warm. Obviously it's not as soft as like a fluffy dressing gown. Maybe if you have like super sensitive skin to any sort of texture, you probably wouldn't like it, but it's like a fluffy towel. I feel like I'm in a hotel, which is what I wanted. So I'm gonna throw, other than we have a dressing gown that's like pink, and I'm pretty sure that one my gran's, I'm gonna keep that one. I've still got my gran's pajamas as well from a care home, which is kind of weird because I don't know if I have washed them. I got them out the other day and nearly put them on, but they just smell a bit weird, so yeah, it's kind of strange. But my other dressing gowns I'm going to get rid of because I don't need them. And to be fair, that they've all like, you know when you have a fluffy dressing gown, it like mats down, like it just goes like all matted and weird. They've all sort of done that and gone a bit thin and shitty. I will show you some of the Alphalete pieces that are coming the 19th of October. A lot of them, I'm not gonna lie, the launch confuses me slightly, just because we're in October and there's no long sleeve tops. They're all like crop tops, and there's like 5 different variations of crop top. If you look at the launch brief, you'll see what I mean. There's like 5 different variations of crop top. And don't get me wrong, these are some of my favourite pieces. Like for example, these muscle tanks, but they've switched the branding, so it's this LDB emblem, which stands for Learn, Dream, Be More, if you didn't know. This is in the colour June. If you've been watching my vlogs in the past few weeks, you'll know I love these tanks. I get them in a size small, and this is how they look, but I don't wear them like this. I always wear them tucked into the Aura strappy bra. It just looks cuter, but I really want them to just make some like fitted tanks like this. I just feel like other brands have them, we're missing them. Let's do it, because even when I do this I get a kind of weird, it goes kind of weird at the sides. I don't mind it too much, but imagine if it was just meant to be like this but a bit longer, and then you could have full length versions as well. Like there's no full length tops in this drop for women either, which is honestly just annoying. The baby tees are the furthest you'll get, but they're only full length if you wear them with Amplify, which is quite high-waisted. Otherwise they're still cropped as well. They're like a high hip crop. This is the Trick crop. It's very similar to the OT crop top, however it's got different seams, and can you see how it sort of looks like a vest at the front? It's got that, and then it curves under bust. I'll show you it on body so you can see what I mean. And another detail which I do actually think is quite good is this front portion is double layered, so the bit that goes over your boobs is double layered. Anything within these seams, that's double layered. The rest is single, which is good, because a problem with this fabric is it's super soft and lightweight, but it can shear out quite a lot. So it's cool that they've double layered it. I just wish it didn't. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the seams. This is my first time trying this on as well, so we shall see. I did an extra small in this, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the seams, it's not my favourite thing in the world, but I don't think it looks bad. But this is very cropped, so can you see how it sort of scoops under bust like this? This is very cropped. This is more cropped than the OT crop top. It's very cropped. But I do like how this is double layered in the front. It feels a lot thicker, and obviously you're not gonna have any sheerness issues with this. It looks a lot more curved off body than on. There's like a slight curve once it's on body, but it's very cropped. For context, here's my bra, and it's the halter bra, which is very short line. Like this is basically sitting on the bottom of my boobs. It's very cropped, and to be fair, it's got that bottom seam there, so it stays in place quite well. It hikes at the side, but that stayed in place quite well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not 100% convinced or sold on these seams. They just look a little bit off to me. But if you are someone who gets irritated by how sheer tops are sometimes and you don't want to wear a bra, it could be a good option, because this is a lot more opaque than other ones because it's double lined here. So it's honestly it's quite nice. It's quite nice. And that's an extra small, so you can definitely size down, because that's a size down for me. More of the plain OT crops, so these still a single line, they're not double lined. Just changed the branding to put a little bit of an LDB emblem on the front, which I actually honestly I quite like. I think it's quite cute, so we'll see how this looks on. I sized down in these I size down in all the stretchy cotton because it bags out, it doesn't like retain its shape. So I factor that in by sizing down. I think this is cute. I really like this logo. As you can see, this is where the OT crops usually sit. So compare it to the trick tee that I just showed you. That's the difference. And obviously this is single line, so you can see a lot more of like my bra sort of poking through, but I like this and I think this is, it's cute. I like it. I know that some people won't, but it reminds me of like the bottom of a necklace pendant sort of thing. That's the vibe it's giving and I like it, so I'm pretty happy with this. But again, it is just a crop top. It's not like a must, but these are one of my favourite tops that Alphalete does. It's just nice and lightweight to throw on, but more so in summer. Like, why haven't we got these in full length or long sleeves? Like, the fact that there's no full length tops or long sleeves in this drop, I don't get it. It's October, it's cold. It's cold. Like, I'm so glad the baby tees are back, but again, where are the long sleeves for women? Where are the full length for women? It's cold. Maybe it's just an age thing, but I don't always want to have my stomach out anymore. Sometimes I want a full length top, and I would have actually really liked this in a full length top. Anyway, we move. Baby tees are back. I'm so excited that the baby tees are back. How much I've worn and rinsed the baby tees since they dropped. If you were curious for like the difference between these and the baby tees, these are longer, so these are more of like a high hip crop, but also they're thicker. Like, this is more of a soft cotton fabric. If you've tried Honor Active's Mellow Soft, this is closer to that because it's got like modal and stuff in it. Like, it's just like that thin brushed jersey feel, whereas this is more like typical t-shirt jersey cotton feel, like cold to touch, slick, not silky, if that makes sense. So they are the exact same as last time. Obviously I had Brawl on earlier. It's coming in black and a deep teal colour, which I believe is called Dive. I sized down in these. They're the same as last time. I sized down last time, I sized down again. You don't have to size down, but if you want it body fit, size down, because also, again, they don't retain their shape until you wash them. So it's gonna stretch out with wear through the day, through your workout. If you're pulling at it, it won't just snap back into place. It doesn't retain its shape until you wash it. So factor that in. But if you go true to size, it'll still be a good fit. It just won't be body fit. But yeah, this is the white one. It is sheer, so you do need to wear a bra under it. But I personally don't mind. I don't mind a sheer white top. Call me a little bit of a hoe, but I really don't mind it. I feel like it's giving tits, you know. These sort of meet the top of my joggers. I don't know if you can tell. They meet the top of my joggers, so they're not sweat proof and they do get quite smelly. So you can't wear them more than once. Sometimes people might think it's gross. I will wear something more than once, especially if I've not like sweated too much in it. But with these, I can't. Like, any sweat, it really does smell and you'll need to wash it to get it out. So that's the only thing to be aware of. But honestly, I love the baby tees, and the little Alphalete is tonal on all of them this time. The other pieces are new. So this is the inside of the like jogger pieces. It's like a soft towel feel. So it's not like completely smooth. Can you see how it's got lines on it? Hopefully you can see. It feels like a soft toweling effect. So they're doing these shrugs. I'll be completely honest, I'm not sure this is me. It's not something I would usually wear, but there's nothing wrong with them other than the fact that I am a bit confused by the branding. I'm not a fan of this, like the tag thing with the wolf. I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, they're doing these like jogger fabric shrugs, and this is how it looks. I feel like if this is your vibe, it's cute, just not really my vibe. This is a size small. I would say you can stay true to size, or you can size up if you want it like more oversized and baggy, but yeah, it's just, I'm not sure on this on the sleeve. And also the sleeves are quite, they're not super long. I don't know who they fit these on, but I think it was short people or people with less long arms, because the sleeves, like if I pull it like this it's fine, but as soon as I'm moving around, which I would be, a bit of an ick for me. So it's definitely not my favourite thing in the world, but it's not like a bad quality piece. It's just not a bit of me, and it's not something I'm gonna be raving about. I don't think I'm realistically, I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of this. They're then also doing these bubble crews, which the inside of these across the chest is like jersey, like a stretchy jersey fabric, like a t-shirt fabric, but the sleeve again You can probably actually see the texture a bit better on this. It's that soft toweling. This is it inside out. I'm going to turn it the right way around. I got this in a medium. I don't like this at all on me. It's just sitting really horribly, and I don't like this shade of grey. For comparison, this is like a beautiful vintagey grey. This is giving prison grey in comparison. I'm very fussy with my shades of grey. I don't like it. It's not my favourite shade of grey. And again, this has definitely been made with short people in mind, which is fine. It just means I can't really use it. In a medium, there's no drawstring on it, so it's just like a bubble effect. You can't really tell because obviously it's under, which is good because you wouldn't want to see it, but you can't tighten it. And I just feel like it feels like all the, obviously because it's a bubble effect, it feels like all the fabric is just sort of like sitting at the bottom here. Honestly, I feel like Mrs. Trunchbull off Matilda in this. Like, I don't feel cute. I feel like I look like an inmate. And the sleeves are so short on this. They're just too short for me. I don't like this. It's not a bit of me. It's definitely not my favourite piece. They are doing joggers, but again, I don't have any of the joggers yet. You're going to have to wait until my package for that comes in. It's kind of stressful because I feel like everyone else has most of their stuff already, and I probably won't get the rest of my stuff, which is arguably the most important pieces because it's the actual workout stuff. I'm not going to get that until next week now, and the launch is next weekend, so I'm going to be cramming shit in next week, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done because the girlies need a review. Okay, and then the final pieces, which this is the piece that I actually have been using the most other than the baby tees and loving, is the men's Force jacket, I think it's called. So I've got this in the Tuscan colour. You've got a nice little wolf logo, just like some raised rubber tonal on the sleeve, and then they've got this new Force logo which is on a lot of the men's pieces. It's meant to be more like athletic and sporty, and that's in like a sticker logo. However, I'm going to be completely honest, it reminds me of Cars, you know, Cars like the animated film. I wouldn't personally choose to have it on things, but on the hoodie it's not too bad because it's here, and like if my hair's down you can't really see it, and if this is turned over you can't really see it. But these are intended to be more of like a turtleneck zip, like this, but I wouldn't wear it like that. I've just been wearing them like a normal hoodie. The only thing is, again, they're quite short on the sleeve. Again, like this would be ideal if it was a little bit longer in the sleeve, because again, when I'm moving around it's giving ache. Like it must have been like someone with very short arms that was trying this stuff on. It does have a hood. The lining on it is the same as the athletic stuff that they did in February, so the fleece lining. It's not like brushed cotton, it's like fleecy, like yeah, it's like a fleece lining on the inside. It's lightweight but warm because of that. Like it's not heavy, but because it's got this like double lining here on the collar, it does have more structure than the Origin or the Classic, which to me, they're fine, they're okay, but they're not groundbreaking, and I do think they look quite cheap. This looks a lot more expensive because it has more of a structure to it. This is it in a size small, and as you can see, it's like, if I pull it out like this is how it looks, but it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to have more of like a balloon effect, and I just feel like it has a lot more structure to it than the other Alphalete hoodies do, which I feel like it makes it look more expensive. It has pockets, they're quite wide and quite deep and quite big, but I do prefer a medium, just because it gives me a bit extra on the sleeves. There's nothing on the back, it's completely plain. If you want a hoodie that's going to cover your bum, this is not it, because they fit more like a bomber than like a typical hoodie, if that makes sense. I've turned a light on because it was actually just getting way too dark. Sorry if I've just gone a bit yellow, but I've got the ink one, and again, got the Alphalete, but it's in grey tonal. I've got this in a medium, and it just gives me a little bit of extra sleeve length. Like if I move around too much, they still come up, but I feel like I have a bit more to work with, which I prefer. But yeah, if you want a hoodie that's going to cover your bum, this is not it, because it fits more like a bomber. But I think these look a lot more expensive than previous Alphalete hoodies because they just have a bit more structure to them. They're still very lightweight, but the fleece lining keeps them warm, very cozy to wear. I've had this on for the past 3 days, as you'll have probably seen in this vlog. But yeah, I definitely prefer a medium. So for me personally, I would say if you've got longer arms, you'd want to go up a size in these. Yeah, those are all the Alphalete pieces that I have at the moment. The rest of my pieces are coming next week, but I thought, obviously this isn't a proper review, so ignore the lighting, ignore the mishmash of it all. I just wanted to show you some of the pieces that are dropping, and I'll link the PDF below. That I've put something out for people before my review goes up, because the rest of my stuff isn't going to come in till Monday. Then I'll want to test it, so my review will probably be like Wednesday, Thursday, which is really annoying, to be honest. Really annoying. When I don't get a package before a weekend, it just makes things a lot harder, because this isn't all I do. Like, Alphalete isn't all I do. I do coaching, I have other things to do. So if I don't get it before a weekend, I don't have time to train in it over the weekend. I don't have time to test it over the weekend. It just like squishes everything and condenses everything. Honestly, makes it quite stressful. So apologies for how late that's going to be up, because it's going to be very close to the launch. But we'll talk a little bit more about basically the purpose of this video, winter arcs, what we're doing over winter to keep ourselves on track. The pressure of a winter arc, the pressure of having to bulk over winter. We'll have a little chin wag about that, but I'm going to tidy up because I've made a mess. £10 to whoever can guess what Amy's new favourite purchase is. It's this. Oh my god, guys, I didn't even tell you about what happened to my headband the other week. My mum came upstairs with my headband, and she was like, because I put it in the washing machine because it was all orange here from my makeup, and she was like, oh, like these bears just velcro back on, right? I looked at her and I was like, no, Deborah, no they don't, my love. She handed me my headband with the two bears just completely, they'd come off in the wash because they weren't sewn on, they were glued. Urban Outfitters, you cheap bastards for that, you cheap bastards. So my dad actually has sewn them on, so now they're sewn on, so now it can be put in the washing machine safely. But yes, I'm just doing some skincare and we're going to round off this vlog because tonight I'm making ramen for my mum and dad, and I just want to try and have a chill night and spend a bit more time with them, because I feel like this week I've kind of been here, there and everywhere. So I just feel like winter is, there's always a pressure around summer to go a certain route with your fitness journey, but it feels like the more years go on, there's also a pressure for winter to be a certain way, and that has to be a growth phase, or it has to be like super intensely locking in for things. And do you know what, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And obviously I've given tips in this video as to how I'm going to like maintain a good level of health over winter, mentally and physically, and what my goals are. And I feel like you can tell my goals for this winter aren't necessarily related to how I look. I'm not doing a growth phase, you know, I'm not dedicating myself to a bulk. I'm more focusing on making sure that my health stays in check, my mental health stays in check, I'm spending time outside, I'm getting micronutrients in, I'm hitting my protein, I'm going to the gym, I'm moving my body, and I'm doing things that make me feel good. I'm getting up earlier so that I can get more out of my days, and then even with getting up earlier, the things that I'm doing to make sure that I can get up earlier, just putting things in place to mean and make sure that I have a good winter. And that doesn't have to mean a like locked in winter, like, you know, bulking and doing all this sort of stuff. It doesn't have to mean that. Like, you can still have what we've learned in this vlog, guys, is you can still have a winter arc. You don't have to be trying to grow an insane amount or going into a growth phase, which, yeah, I just feel like, honestly, in previous years I've felt so much pressure to grow through winter because it is the best time to do it. It's the most convenient time to do it. You just using the Tay Milky Toner, love this stuff. You know, you don't have as many holidays coming up. You might, because a lot of people, I know it sounds, you're not meant to say things like this, but a lot of people do feel more uncomfortable in their bodies when they're in the growth phase because their body doesn't look the way that they're used to it looking. So it's a good time to do it because baggy clothes, you're not having to be like half naked, you're not going on beachy holidays. I know that we shouldn't say things like that, but that is why people say winter is a good time to do it. That is why people say winter is a good time to do it. I'm just speaking very bluntly. This year, like I said, I think at the start of this vlog, is the first year where I've intentionally been like, I'm not bulking over winter. I'm not bulking over winter. Last winter, I gained weight and I was in such a bad spot, and that wasn't even an intentional bulk. I was just so miserable in my personal life, and in hindsight, I honestly think it was making me sick because I kept getting poorly. I was poorly so many times last year, and especially towards the back end of last year, I just kept getting sick. I kept getting super run down. I wasn't well at all. Refreshing this year to consciously go into winter and not have like a really rigid fitness goal other than just making sure I stay on top of looking after myself and I don't neglect myself. like after years of being, you know, cut bulk, cut bulk, cut bulk, and I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but right now it's not where I'm at, and I've spoken about that a lot of times recently. I won't bore you with it again, but right now that's not where I'm at in my fitness journey. I'm just wanting to enjoy the gym. I'm wanting to enjoy my training. I'm wanting to enjoy being healthy, being fit, doing multiple things, keeping up with my hot yoga, which will obviously be amazing as it gets colder and stuff, because getting that hot environment in once a week is just going to be amazing. Make sure that I'm looking after myself, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the way I look. Like, I'll be completely transparent, I will always train somewhat for aesthetics, but this is the first winter where I'm being like, I'm intentionally not bulking because I don't want to. I can't be bothered to. Like, I'm happy at the spot I'm at. I just want to focus on looking after myself. My winter arc is bloody looking after myself, making sure, obviously I might get ill, you can't put it off, but you know, making sure I'm properly looking after myself, getting outdoors, spending time with family, spending time with friends, socialising, enjoying myself, not saying no to things, moving my body, training hard in the gym, doing different activities, getting micronutrients in my diet, getting more time out of my day by getting up earlier, using my sunrise alarm clock, doing things that make me feel better, maintaining like solo dates with myself, doing things that make me feel good, because I do struggle with this time of year, like I really do. But honestly, the sense of like relief and like weight off my shoulders that I'm feeling going into a winter, being like, actually I don't want to do a bulk over winter, is probably the same way people feel when they finally get to a point where they get to a summer where they're like, actually I don't want to cut for summer, I don't want to diet for summer, I just want to enjoy my life. I feel like this is that for me, because it's something that I've always felt I had to do, coming from being smaller. I've always felt like I had to bulk every winter, so I feel like I'm getting the same level of relief, and it's so freeing. I feel like I'm actually looking forward to my gym sessions in the winter more, because there's not that pressure on it. I'm still not following a program, guys. Like, I'm still just doing workouts that feel right, things that I want to do. Like today I completely made it up. My winter arc is getting through winter, a happy, healthy girly who's looked after herself and prioritised her well-being in more ways than one. And sometimes prioritising your well-being will mean you don't do that bulk, or you don't do that cut, or you don't put this insane amount of pressure on yourself to have gained 17 million inches in your ass, on, maybe not in your ass, that might be a little bit painful, on your ass in the space of 6 months. It's very freeing, and I'm looking forward to my fitness through winter. And I feel like before I might have looked forward to it, but I've always felt a pressure. This time I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I thought I would do a little bit more of a fitnessy vlog this week, just because I know my vlogs are always going to be sort of fitness based, because it just is such a big part of my life. But I know that recent vlogs haven't maybe been as fitness based, and I wanted to put in some like actual helpful tips for getting through these darker, colder months, because I know a lot of you feel the same way. A lot of you love autumn, but even if you love autumn, you might struggle with sticking to things and keeping going in the gym, and how to get up on a morning and all this sort of stuff. There's things that you might struggle with even if you do enjoy this time of year. So I hope it's been helpful. It's been nice to do a bit more of like a tip-filled vlog, show a bit more food. If you guys want any more like what I eat in a day, let me know. I've not done one in a while because they don't seem to be like super well received, but I know that I do get a lot of questions about food, so I've tried to just put a few bits of food in this vlog. But if you guys want like weekly shops in vlogs, or want more like what I eat in a days, please just let me know. But yeah, that is my skincare routine done for the evening, and I'm gonna go and make me, my mum and my dad some steak ramen. I will see you guys in my next video, which should be an Alphalete review. Hopefully my pieces come after the weekend. Any videos that you want to see besides that, please let me know. I am considering doing Vlogmas, but like my own twist on it this year. So let me know if you have any ideas of how I could do my own twist on it, or if you want Vlogmas. Do you want Vlogmas? Because I did it last year and I don't know if people like enjoyed it or not. So let me know. Do you want it? Let me know how you would want Vlogmas to look here on our little channel that we have going on together. But yeah, I'm like planning out my content to like January 2025, so let me know what you want to see in terms of videos, Vlogmas, hauls, vlogs. What do you like about vlogs? What do you not like about vlogs? Which are your favourite vlogs of mine to watch? Yeah, just let me know. super open to feedback. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing, I think it's going to be Sunday morning when this goes up, so yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday morning, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace and love.